high school choirs. I'm filming this on Friday, March 20th, 2020. We're on the 5th day of our social isolation during the COVID-19 virus. I was going to be at a park, but instead I'm in a neighborhood. In fact, I might be very near one of your houses. Fact is, I don't know where any of you live. That's some social distancing for you. I was hoping to have a sunrise at 7:35 in the morning, but for the last few times I've been out, there's been no sunrise. And it's been overcast or foggy or raining. But I guess that's kind of an analogy for what we're going through right now. We wanted certain sunrises and they're not happening. Right now I'm kind of stuck under here, trying not to get wet or damage my phone, but there is something I want to show you. When I was a kid, when it rained a lot overnight, it meant three things. One, it was going to smell different in the morning. Two, the yard was going to be filled with ponds and lakes because it wasn't a real even property. But three, the creeks were going to be overfilled and rushing. And I love a rushing creek. So today I thought I'd go to a spot that I know, right here on the edge of the Montville Lakes neighborhood, where there's just a little offset of green space that a lot of neighborhoods have. But this green space is familiar to me because I know there's an area where the creek is often kind of dried up, but when it rains, there's a couple of waterfalls. And I love the waterfalls. I love to see the flowing water. So here we are, I'm going to show it to you. And then, right after this video, is going to be a video I made earlier. It's about the pipe organ. And you'll have some questions for you. This is the last day before spring break. I'm going to keep making these. It's just good for me. Give me something regular, some routine. But of course, it's break and you don't have to watch. No one really has to watch. But it's just something that's I do for you, but I also do it for me. So you ready for this? This spot I love when it rains. I love it. So even though there's not a sunrise, we know a sunrise will come. And I look forward to that. But meanwhile, while we wait, we try to find some joy in what happens when we don't have a sunrise. See you soon. Welcome. I thought I'd show you a little bit about the organ since I like the organ so much and I always say we should have a field trip, but we can't, so I'm going to try to bring it to you. You've heard the phrase, wow, you're pulling out all the stops. That comes from an organ. These are stops, and they are called stops because they're supposed to stop the sound, or that is, to stop the wind of a pipe organ from rushing into those pipes and making a sound. If you pull out a stop, then the wind is allowed to go up into those pipes so those pipes can make a sound. Every one of these represents a sound. If this were a synthesizer, it'd be the same thing as pushing a button that has a sound name on it. But in a pipe organ, it's a set of pipes. 61 pipes. One pipe for every key on an organ keyboard. There are 61 keys on an organ keyboard. It's shorter than a piano keyboard. A piano keyboard is 88, an organ keyboard is 61. So look at all of those. Every one of those represents a set of 61 pipes, and every name is a different sound. Next, you'll see that there are numbers. If you have a number 8, that means that the tallest pipe that makes the lowest sound is 8 feet tall in that set of pipes. And a 4 foot means the tallest pipe is 4 feet tall, and the tallest pipe is 2 feet tall. If it says 8, that means that's a sound that sounds how it's supposed to. That is, if I play a middle C, and I have a stop that has an 8 on it pulled, the organ is going to play a middle C. But if I play that same note, but pull out one that says 4, it's going to play an octave higher. And if I pull out a 2, that's even an octave higher than that. And that's why organ can sound so huge, because I could just play one note, but if I pull out a stop, that's the actual pitch, and an octave higher, and an octave higher, and let's pull out a 16, that's even an octave lower. I can play that one note, and it's actually playing 4 different octaves of that note. What else do I want to tell you? 61 keys. There's also a pedal keyboard, and luckily I'm wearing my special organ socks, and a pedal keyboard is 32 pedals, from the lowest up to the highest. Those are some things I can tell you about an organ right now. So what would you remember? The stops are called stops because if you leave them alone, they stop the air from going into the pipes. And if you pull them out, the air gets to go through. The more stops you pull, the more sound you get. And that's why people say, whoa, you're pulling out all the stops. Number two, there are numbers on the stops, and they represent the height in feet of the biggest pipe in that set of pipes. Number three, there's 61 pipes for every stop because there's 61 keys on an organ keyboard. The pedals, though, there's only 32 pedals. So when you see a pedal stop, it's a set of 32 pipes. And finally, the numbers on the stops refer to what octave they play. If there's an 8, it plays normal octave. But if there's a 4, it's an octave higher. If there's a 2, it's an octave higher than that. I hope you're doing well. I hope we get to see each other soon. Take care.